Rise and shine, how do you hear me?
Hear you very clearly, sir.
Outstanding. We do know that this is the U.S. of A, again, having such a great time, wanting to prevent this call from happening. And I'm talking about the U.S. of A due to the fact it seems that they're the only ones that still are caught up in this false world. And they don't want to let go and recognize our sovereignty, as you just spoke. Sovereignty is something that will not be taken away from the world. And even though this rise and shine day, I kind of woke up in a manner where even if I had fallen asleep, I haven't slept that well. So I must say to the United Nations, yes, this rise and shine day, you will hear my voice sounding a little strange, but that's all to be noted, because this was the day in which everyone wants to claim was some birthday of some great leader that came to the planet. That great leader was to have saved the whole entire universe. And yet still the universe is still in these conditions in which we so now are presented with. So I want to quickly say to the United Nations, this is your call, and not a U.S. world, but this is your call. And this call goes out to you in reference to bringing you back to the world of sovereignty, where every man has the right to declare at least the life in which he so has been given by God, the right to that life, and what they may even classify to be in the U.S. of A as liberty. So let me start by saying this. For unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and the government will be upon his shoulders, and his name will be called Wonderful, Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. Of the increase of his government and peace, there will be no end upon the throne of David and over his kingdom, to order it and establish it with judgment and justice from that time forward, even forever. For it says that the zeal of the Lord of hosts will perform this. We're talking about Yahweh, God of the universe. It says, for the people do not turn to him who strikes them, nor do they seek the Lord of hosts. Therefore the Lord will cut off head and tail from Israel, palm branch and bulrush in one day. The elder and honorable, he is the head. The prophet who teaches lies, he is the tail. For the leaders of this people cause them to err, and those who are led by them are destroyed. Now I'm bringing that this rise and shine day, United Nations, because the world now is beginning to seriously change quickly as I speak. And as I speak, you will realize that my voice will begin to heal itself only for a moment of time. We are travelers in a foreign land. That foreign land just so happens to be called Earth. And this travel is about to become very, very serious, to a point where on the earth, which has been given by God, and the angels will be given a bowl whereby inside of the bowl they will pour out something that will strike the earth, and the earth will find itself in torment. This torment is about to happen quickly. Why? Because everyone is looking for salvation. Everyone thinks that they're going to be given an easy moment where they kind of kick back on easy chairs and relax, while everyone else around them suffers. Maybe so, but yet then there shall be a greater woe of death coming. I know many of you still are stating the fact that you say that God won't bring upon you any would-be so-called hard times. Yet still is happening as you speak. The United States this year is moving into a new administration, just as we so speak, moving around death, moving around tears, Some of them, I can see them carrying pictures of their own would-be so-called personal life as far as their families are concerned. They will begin to place them on desks, which have been carried in just for them. These desks have come from various places around the world. Some of them are placing a desk inside their office that came from France, made of French wood. Others are carrying desks that have been made in the far-off world of what we deem to be Spanish. This Spanish furniture will be placed inside of their room of choice. Yet and still the war is at all the doors of every one of those offices in which they will walk in. They will take them seats behind their desk, and there they will plant themselves, as if though they were nothing more than fresh grown roses. And they will sit there, dawning to the eyes to be a thing of beauty. And yet still, they will get nothing done because the wars will be lingering on. United Nations, we came this rising shine day to bring you information based upon what the world is getting prepared to go through. World War I is beginning to accelerate, putting and gaining size as it moves forward. Gaining muscle, one might say, prepared to do nothing more than be strong enough to survive anything that will come its way. I know you did not want to hear this on this particular day. You did not want to hear something that sounds like doom and gloom, but you wanted to hear something great, something that was going to excite you, like riding a new bicycle or attempting to, for the first time, start up a brand new motorcycle that you got. Or even yet, just use the key to open the door to a brand new house that you just got. And all these things that you have received will become nothing more than treasures that will somehow find their way to a cemetery. No, I'm not bringing you doom and gloom. I'm bringing you the truth. For the fact of the matter right now, it says they shall dash to pieces like a potter's vessel. He shall rule them with a rod of iron. They shall be dashed to pieces like the potter's vessel, a potter's vessel. You've heard me say this before in other books, such as the book of Psalms. You keep hearing me mention to you about it has been given to him a rod of iron. And this rod of iron, it tells you that he should dash them to pieces like a potter's vessel. Now, the point I'm giving you now does not even come from the book of Psalms. It's actually the book of Revelations. The book of Revelations, it's there. Also in the second chapter, believe it or not, but you'll find it around the 27th verse of the second chapter of Revelation. I know, book of Psalms, second chapter. It was also there, telling them the exact same thing. He says, I have also received from my Father, and I will give him the morning star. He who has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says to the churches. Then he begins to talk to all of the 7 churches of Asia. The 7 churches. I know none of you know anything about the 7 churches, and perhaps many of you can care less about the churches. But he was talking to the 7 churches in reference to their works in which they had been performing for the universe. Some of them even told them that they give great charity. He says their charity is great in all that they do to save the needy. But he said, but at the same time, he has something against them. There was something that was small that he had against them, as they would see it. But he told them, this one thing that I have against you is known to you as a failure to love. He told them that that failure to love was because they did not love him. So he said, all your great charity work, all the things you do for those that are around you, yet still you have lost your first love. You have no love for any God on any planet. And these things you call treasures, you got more love for them than you do for any God. See, I brought this to you because right now, again, the whole world is celebrating this moment of, I would say, falsified reality of some life that was supposedly come to the planet to save the world. Yet still, the world is further lost than it was in the beginning. How did I know that? Sure. It's very simple. Unlike you, I do read the book. I do read the book. A lot of you haven't even read the book. You have no desire to read the book. Many of you don't. So I know that in the beginning was the Word. And the Word was with God. And the Word, they say, was God. He was in the beginning with God. He was. He who? Well, all the things that were made through him, and without him, nothing was made that was made that day. In him was life, and life was the light of men. And the light shined in the darkness, and the darkness did not comprehend it. Yeah, but there was a man sent from God whose name was John. I don't know. Maybe he was John the Baptist. I don't know. Maybe it was John the one that couldn't swim. I don't know. But it says that. There was a man sent from God whose name was John. This man came as a witness, to bear witness of the light. He was not the light himself, but he was sent to bear witness of the light. He said he came to his own, and his own did not receive him. That would have been his family, his friends, the ones that said they loved him. And it said that John told them that the Word became flesh and dwelt among us. He says we beheld his glory, and his glory as he was the only begotten of the Father. He said he was full of grace and truth. He went on to say, for his law was given through Moses. But grace and truth came from the one, he says, was the Christ. I'll leave it at that. Kind of makes everyone a little bit more comfortable to say the word Christ. And for those of them that love to be even more comfortable, Jesus the Christ. God Almighty. Me? I am the voice of the one crying in the wilderness. I'm just saying, make straight the way of God. Ya Allah. Make way for him. I repeat, I am only the one that's crying that voice from the wilderness. Who am I? I'm a nobody, trying to tell everybody about somebody who can save anybody. And we have a beautiful world. Yeah, right about now, everyone is beginning to gather around this tree that has been fashioned by hands. They kind of fixed it so it don't topple over. You know what I mean? And they may say they wrap these nice little pretty things around it. I don't know. Some of them, it looks kind of like snow, you know. These white wrappings that they put around the bottom of. But I guarantee you the tree, it won't topple over unless someone gets a little too tipsy on drinking his eggnog. And they put these nice pretty lights and all this good. This is a tree which only an axeman cuts down. The axeman? Lumberjack, whatever you want to call him. He cuts it down. He brings it back to your house. And you set it up just for this particular day. I can see all of the people who do have the privilege of having a fireplace. They got stockings stuck all around. Got names on them. Bobby's got one. Jimmy's got one. Well, Sharon, you got one. How about that? I see one over there, Cole. He has one. Cole. That's a very unfamiliar name. Nobody ever finds himself screaming and calling some guy Cole. But he has one. He has a stocking. With all of these stockings that are glued to everyone's would-be so-called, mantles, fireplaces. Some of them just got them stuck on the wall all around names. Where is the stocking for Yah? It's a simple name, 3 letters, Yah. Oh, you forgot that stocking? Don't worry about it. You don't have to go put it up now. No, it's no reason. He's already come and gone. You missed it, did you? Again, I say, the church, with all your great charity that you have, yet still my Father has this against you, and that you have forgotten your first love. Didn't put him even up a stocking for this so-called special day that he was born himself in a manger, you would say. Why? He was born in a manger, just like you treated him about the stocking. They didn't leave any place, no room in the inn. Not the E-N-A, but the I-N-N. The inn. The motel, the hotel. The places where everybody come to at least be able to reside just for one particular day, just so they can collect all of the taxes from the people. Then he will leave his family a place. They had money to pay for their place, their room in the inn. They had a place, they had money. They were the richest family on the planet. Why wouldn't they have had money? So that wasn't a good excuse to use, the reason they didn't leave him a place. And knowing that his mom was carrying the one they call the only begotten son of the universe, the one that they say was to come and have the whole government to be up on his shoulder. He was going to save the planet. Now, the reason I'm saying this, United Nations, is because right now there's a serious problem going on in the United world. United Nations, can you hear me now? Okay, let me help you out. The United Nations is waking up this rise and shine day for those of them that did and were able to close their eyes. Through paperwork being shuffled all around the world, this paperwork is doing nothing but declaring war on every nation on the planet. War. The United Nations already know about it due to the fact that NATO is issuing this would be so-called declaration for war. They have already sent out invitations to nations like Germany. They have told them to prepare their soldiers for war. They have sent out invitations to nations like France and told them to prepare their soldiers for war. They're even talking about this thing in which America call a draft. A draft. See, a draft, it never is closed. It never dries up even when it gets wet. But it just keeps blowing through. It just blows through, picking up debris that it itself created. It's all a draft. But this draft has got a lot to do with younger rather than older. It's going to be drafting young men, boys, young women, girls. Oh, yeah, you have to remember, you made it. And now you're an equal. So just as they're going to be getting the little boys, they're going to also be, come on, help me out here. Stay with me, Yahushua, where you're beginning to get stronger as we go along. Take your time. We're not in any rush. No. They don't start eating that stuff until around 2, 3 o'clock. You know, by that time, everyone would have grown tired from opening all the gifts they got on Jesus Christ's birthday. However, Jesus Christ is going to be strong. He's going to be able to keep them in perfect peace and perfect. He didn't get anything. Sit down. Relax. Don't worry about going to find that old present that you had wrapped with nothing more than a pair of socks in it, because you're going to try to pass that joint now so he can feel accepted into the family. What if he had showed up? No, you didn't have any gifts for him. It was his birthday. You got all the gifts for yourselves. I already know how it works. I've been around here for a little while now. I've sat even at my house. And I've always watched all the gifts around the tree. You know, I found myself when I was a very little small tot. That's what they used to call us. Except for my uncle, he called them taps. Taps, that was the word he used when you was getting on his nerves and he was trying to do something. So you just become a tap rather than a tot. Stay with me. See, when I was that little tot, I used to go around the tree. I would be turning over all of the presents, all of the gifts that was under the tree. Yeah, I would be looking for that one present, that one gift, with his name on it. What else do you think I was looking for? I would turn to my mother. She would look at me strangely like, what's wrong? What's the matter? Here's hers over here. And I would say to her, I'm not looking for mine. I'll put mine over there. I am looking for the one that says Jesus the Christ. Where is that gift at? It was his birthday. He will be coming on him. We are going to be eating and cutting the cake with him. He will blow out the candles on him. He'll be out here. Remember, that other guy you told me about, Santa Claus? I haven't seen him either. Is he going to be here? Is he going to be at this birthday party? I see just about everything that's got his name on it, Santa Claus reindeers. Santa Claus. You even got the picture of him standing out in the front yard. And tell me something, who's the little guy still lying, in that little bed over there? Half naked. Is that the way he's going to end up on this particular day? Lying in a bed, half naked, no gifts. They didn't even mention his name. No, there's not any name out there on that thing that says Jesus the Christ. I see one name that says Nativity. I couldn't even pronounce it. Help me out. Where is his gift? Where is his cake? It's his birthday, right? Wow. Mama, Daddy, for my birthday, please, whatever you do, don't treat me like this. At least get me one gift. I don't care anything about the stocking hanging and all of that stuff. But at least get me one gift with my name on it. Because now that I've been in your house for at least 7 years, I've been checking your tree. And not one time have I found a present on it that says Jesus the Christ on it. Not one time. Now I'm getting ready to leave your house. Yeah. I know this possibly will be the last Christmas we even shared together, knowing that you're no longer here on the earth. I know something. Still haven't found that present. I still haven't found that gift under anybody's tree. No, that one, that's for Jesus. This is a Spanish family. I know. How does it though? That was a good try. You let me know when we get this party right. You let me know when this party gets really, really cracking. What you're gonna find. Have a gift for the one in whom you set the party up for. Meantime, I'm gonna be over here because I got something to bring to the people today. So I'm gonna have them think about this party that they're having right now. While I gather up all of this chaotic stuff they got going on. I'm gonna gather it up. I'm gonna give them a time to finish opening their gifts. Everybody, I'm gonna take a break.
Thank you, Joshua.